It's the funny thing about it. You can just record it. I didn't know that. Well, it's really cool. There's a helmet with VH. Actually, no, I just received it. It was really cool. I would have bought it. It's actually kind of well, it's not mine. It's mine is.
Which is
like instead of like blue and white instead of
We're at. I think provided.
oh, being a fireman, like in my small town, they buy their buildings and light them on fire. So I mean, it's like the answers, like they want to see, yeah, so they have to. What is it? That's like what? Some kind of narcissism. Researching narcissistic personality disorders.
it's got the same 30 millimeters.
But when I was trying to capture it, oh, so that was supposed to be fine, okay.
Just has more rounds.
Oh, is that?
Okay, sweet. That's so weird. Why did you go from the car up to the...
It's got a big guy. So this is the 50 gallon. And there's a 50-gallon That's the one where oh, fine.
Seems like it's connected now.
Dude, it's so bad.
But then you go where the office is, there's no fraud. Where are you from?
I'm not good enough looking me.
That thing is fully automatic. It just looks so good for the city.
What was that big vehicle chase?
It does.
That way.
It does. It has zero license.
Last weekend. It was like,
Like this one, there's people in there.
I was gonna actually look up police records because I was keen.
They have a gun. We did
Fly is all your fault.
I know. Matthew Trevor. I was not even getting the email.
Well, it's also like
Go look into the one that.
yeah,
It was like there was assault.
last year, right back to the first place.
I know.
Assault.
They're in custody.
What are we on? Yeah.
Like the summer, you know, just
Fun, really, for me, you have any one of the other. Like,
Depending on the
I got into that was so funny. I knew he was going to ask for it. Now people are reacting to carnival because that's the how you get out here. Too much fun.
Yes, he's just hanging around me.
Yeah, right here.
Just crazy. I don't know, it might just have to use laptops tonight and then call ITS.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's
that? Did you say, Ben?
I think you might just
Nursing home.
Actually, I was thinking, oh, we're gonna.
I take that to be personal. I get pretty frustrated. What? You said that's yeah, I'll take a pat roast.
I'll explain it later.
He's my student, I didn't think he was jail. He was also,
Lot.
I'm also a pat roast.
It's like.
Oh, I'm also a pat roast.
Two Ryans right
I have my ideas, product away.
This is what.
Somebody trespassing in the church.
I think it's just like.
Jacob, my brother, not my block. I told him where.
I imagine somebody.
We're looking like we can.
Also, I figured out that the first piece of nights at Sunday. Yeah, well, yeah, because this is special reports. I mean, that's how many that they broke out without police.
Hagen sends out proxy forms, so. Thank you.
Alcohol violations at the church, the separate church.
I call this meeting of the South Coast School Alliance Student Association Senate to order. Roll call and approval proxies.
Proxy Alarape.
Here.
Camps.
Here.
Captain.
Here.
Fernandez. Here. Fink.
Here.
Hume. Keel.
Here.
Leonard.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Lindgren.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Richards.
Here.
Shock.
Here.
Seekman.
Here.
Stanley.
Here.
Severson.
Here.
Bosted.
Here.
Winter.
Here.
We have quorum.
Alrighty. Any motions? Here. Proxies.
Motion to approve proxies.
Alright, motion by Lynn Lewis, seconded by Senator Lewis, seconded by Senator Winter. All those approving proxies say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Alrighty, proxies are approved. Attendance and proxies are approved. I'm sick today. That's my excuse. And we're also operating without a screen today, so I don't have my help. Alright. Did everyone get a chance to read over minutes? Alright.
There were a couple changes, just some small grammatical things, and I had a proxy where there shouldn't have been. Thank you again, Senator Leonard.
Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna say it. All those in favor of approving last week's minutes say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Last week's meeting is approved. Alright. Moving on to open floor guests. We don't have any open floor guests. However, I would like to welcome Derek. He's the director of the Veterans Resource Center. So you know that.
I'm just standing for this week. I'm the director of the Ridge and Tree Wells Veterans Resource Center, so I know Patrick well.
Yeah, other than that, we don't have any open floor guests. We don't have any unfinished business nor any new business. So any open floor discussion?
I'd like to take some time to discuss the student center involvement in the homecoming parade.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. We've Senator Sheikman and I have been discussing that. We already we're getting details hammered out. That's going to be a task for the public relations committee mainly. So they're going to be discussing that. So we are.
Yeah, I can just take point. Yeah, so tomorrow if you are available and you want to come help with with the parade planning. My committee is aware, but I'll be meeting in the Senate office at noon, so if you'd like to join. We are currently looking for somebody with a Jeep and or truck and or trailer. So if you have one, we have one kind of tentatively lined up. But if you have something that'll work, let me know. We'll need people, once it gets a bit closer, we'll take attendance for who will be there walking with us in the parade. I'm going to be assembling posters and materials and candy and X, Y, and Z. So keep your ears peeled. Ears peeled. Ears open, eyes peeled. I can't talk, ignore me.
So just clarification, are you officially doing it?
Yes, we
Okay,
verified last night.
That's the
that
bigger
yes.
picture. As an office, we have to know
Yes,
everybody by
I
name.
verified with Sam Parkin last night, yes.
That way we can do all that stuff.
Yes.
And they're on the Excel sheet.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that confirmed with,
Sam.
Yes.
Mark
Yep.
Smith, as well as with Paint the Town. Currently I have a Jeep, and possibly a trailer. But if anyone has a truck, I would actually appreciate that because my Jeep isn't as suited for that task.
What day is this parade?
September 21st, Saturday, 10 a.m. The lineup will start at 9. The roads will shut down at 9 and the parade will start at 10.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, so I think we have a pretty good plan for that. So,
Yeah, so if anyone would like to come help, in particular.
Senator Volstead.
Yeah. Another point of open discussion. Wanted to discuss a little bit about the different fundraising businesses that are on that form. I believe that
Yeah, I've looked at that form. Like I said, I have notes on it. We'll be
Okay.
talking about that in the GR committee meeting.
Yeah. And then, let me see, with marketing outreach, I was talking with Ann Brentlinger today about the PR with the Senate, and is that something that the PR and the Senate is interested in taking part in marketing outreach toward, like, getting the community aware of homecoming stuff? Is that Senate's job, or is Senate's job PR, I guess? Would that be more geared toward letting students and faculty know about what's going
Yeah.
on campus?
Traditionally, to my knowledge, Senate is in no way in charge of or related to Rocker Days. We simply attend and participate. So we have no say in the planning, save for anybody like yourself who's on planning committees. So we can help with that if that's something that is being asked of us, but that's not traditionally our role as Senate.
Yeah, so, and I will like to add that I would like to limit discussion kind of on these topics for specific committees. If you have questions for your specific committees, you can go there, you can ask their chairs as well, so, yeah, yes. Senator Bingham.
We could use my truck on the 21st.
I love it. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then you said you had a trailer?
I have to see if we can use it, because it's technically not mine, but it's available, so.
Okay.
But
Is your truck got a hitch? That you
Yeah.
pull it-
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was making sure you had what you needed to pull a trigger.
Other than that, I would like to limit discussion on this. We can keep it within the PR committee as well as just amongst ourselves, casual conversation. So, yeah. Any other topics of open discussion? Seeing none, we'll move on to our CFO report.
Alright, well I have a few things out as long as last meeting. So for supplemental request, I've received 2 from the American Chemical Society and Humber Computer Club. That need to be left over tomorrow at 6 p.m. I said Monday's last meeting, but I have a personal conflict there that I just noticed some days ago. So it's going to be Thursday. Finance Committee to discuss those supplemental requests. I am expecting one from AE in the future. I've talked with some of the leaders in AE, obviously sits in McKinney, and they have come to me about we were going to do supplemental requests. I'm not sure when, but just expecting it. For SOAP workshops, we announced to have SOAP workshops planned on October 22nd and October 24th at 6 p.m. We announced that at the student organization meeting yesterday, and then a makeup session on October 29th, 2024 at 6 p.m. as well. That if they're doing a makeup session, said within that week, that rolls out in a 10% reduction. And my last point of note is earlier I discussed with Vice President Weed about the camp and GAF meeting. So we're meeting with Amy on Tuesday on September 10th at 11 a.m. And that is all I have to report.
Alright. Any questions, comments, concerns for CFO Lockwood? Yes, Senator Rostov.
What's the meeting with Amy about? Is it like an increase to gap, or is it, do you have any more further detail?
I don't think it's necessarily an increase to gap, but I think Senator Weed's report couldn't have better insight on that because he brought it up to me today.
Yeah, so I'll like touch on this for like a little bit. We're going ahead and moving camp being funded under SOAP to being funded under GAP. So no changes in funding will be made by that. It's just that instead of being a division of SOAP, like because we have that big section slice that is dedicated SOAP, they'll probably cut that in half and it'll go some like either a third of it or like half of it will go over to camp now as their own separate part of GAP. So that's decided now by GAP Act instead of the SOAP hearings. So,
Thank you.
yeah. Senator Seekman.
Can you repeat what time you said SOAP workshops were? I missed that.
6 p.m. on the 22nd and 24th of October.
Thank you.
Senator Richards.
Is camp being funded under GAP going to be effective this year?
Or it'll be so right now camp is still currently funded under SOAP for this fiscal year. Next fiscal year I think it is when it will be going into effect. So that is what we're primarily meeting with Amy to discuss amongst other things. Other than that, any other comments, questions, concerns? All right, moving on. We have now our Vice President report.
So I will need my committee chairs to meet right after this meeting, if possible. We need to sort out when to hold our board meetings. Looks like we have a lot of conflict, so please stay back, and we'll sort of do that. Second item is Secretary Garcia will be drafting a Robert's Rules of Order presentation, so be prepared for that. Potentially study up if you want, but hopefully that'll help us be more orderly in our meetings and also be a good launch point for getting our freshman senators kind of oriented with how we do things around here. Yeah, that's it. End of report.
All right. Yeah, I don't have that too much for my report. So yes, moving on. Or yes, first of all, questions, comments, concerns for Vice President Week. Seeing none, move on to President's report. Yeah, I don't have too much for my report. Just like two things. First of all, we want freshmen to run for Senate. So if you know freshmen, I know I see familiar faces in here from peer mentor training. So if you're peer mentor or just are interacting with the freshman class, please get them to run. A couple caveats with that. Make sure that they know that in order to put up posters in the residence halls, no matter what, just bring those posters to Bryce Nussbaum or just the Res Life office because they cannot. Res Life has to hang up the posters in the residence halls, and if they want to put posters on the ground, this is a new thing. If they want to put posters on the ground, just like across campus, not in the residence halls, make sure they go to Corey because Corey approves those posters.
Yep. So they should be approved for me.
Yep.
Either way, and then they can go to residence life.
So if you know freshmen who are running, please let them know that and tell them to get that out to other freshmen who are running. And then another thing is an idea that Bryce Nussbaum brought up to also get just posters out to freshmen in the halls. And also, so they're kind of aware of it, is set up nights with Res Life, like come to their room and kind of talk about their campaign and what they want to do on Senate. So he can kind of, and like also, I think, what else would we say? Because
they can do what you may have heard is storming. It's called Hall Pass. I just gotta use all the terms so you all know what I'm talking about. That is a process that you have to register for, so that would allow the candidates to go through the halls and actually visit with people. But the purpose of that is for Bryce and his staff to give a heads up to the residents so that they know people are coming into the community and being respectful. So always to visit with residents and connect with them, but we just want to make sure we're following the rules.
All right. And yeah, so other than that, the only other thing I wanted to say is and Senator Leonard will touch on this I bet soon in her reports, but Pinterest night, I think we're finalized for that, right? So it's on September 18th. So if you have dinner plans for September 18th, it was Pinterest. So there you go. Other than that, in the report, questions, comments, concerns.
Do you have an update on the senior senator?
Yeah, so, that is the other thing. I put out an email for a senior senator to run, to put out, basically telling them to email either Clyde or I, or it's Vice President Weir or I, if they wanted to run for senior senator. So, and if you know people who want to run for senior senator, tell them to email Clyde or I, or Vice President Weir or I at the SA President/Vice President emails. But yeah, so we're still looking on the process for that when we get responses. But we should have a senior senator on or before when the freshmen are appointed. So, yeah. Any other comments? No.
Same fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's important. Other than that, in a report, any comments, questions, concerns from me? Seeing none, we will move on to our international senator report.
Sure. So we had the education abroad session yesterday, which went great, and we have a job search strategies session for international students tomorrow from 3 to 4 in downtown. That's it. I'm available.
All right. Any comments, questions, concerns for Senator Fernandez? Seeing none, we'll move on to our veteran senator report.
No report.
All right. Moving on to our graduate senator report.
Nothing new.
All right. Moving on to our non-trad report.
Yeah, so the old School of Mines website used to have a whole page dedicated to non-trad students, and now the new website doesn't have anything on new non-trads. So I reached out to marketing and the web designer to see if they plan on adding a page, and they said they're going to talk about it and they'll get back to me. So, and the report.
Redesign has been interesting. Yeah. Any comments, questions, concerns for Senator Kantz? Seeing none, moving on to our committee reports, starting off with our Constitution report. No report. All right. Our PR report.
I do have a lot today, so I do apologize. PR meetings will be set for Thursday at noon. So if you would like to attend, if you have PR questions, and tomorrow if you want help with grade planning. I sent out today polo order form. If you want a new polo, please fill it out. We're just going to get a head count right now before we work on the ordering process. Yeah, so parade, like I said, and in addition, we were encouraged to ask senators and Senate adjacent people to attend the civic programming opportunities that Student Engagement has put out. Some of the Black Hills Talks features and the local election forum. There's posters around for those around campus, so I encourage you to attend those. I'll be at as many as I can be. And if you are not following Senate on social media, please do. Please push us. We'll be doing highlight features of all senators this year, our projects, and just it's a good way to get the word out. And moving into Student Federation news, I do in fact have tentative dates for SHED. It is slotted for January 26th and 27th.
Okay.
So that's tentative, it hasn't been approved or fully booked and processed yet, but just so we have tentative dates on the calendar as soon as possible. And then I know they've been planning tentative dates for Mines Day around then as well, so once those days are finalized, we'll let you guys know. In addition, for Student Federation, as I mentioned last week, we were talking of forming a West River Alliance with Black Hills State University to do BOR and Student Federation things. We have a meeting with them tomorrow at 1 to discuss. And finally, we have a Student Federation meeting this coming Thursday night. End of report.
Any comments, questions, concerns for Senator Siegman? Yes, Senator Syverson.
Just
clarification, you said, hearing needs to start next week Thursday, correct?
Yes, they will, but if you're free, you can come tomorrow. But no stress, I know it's last minute.
Any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, or yes, Vice President Lee.
Have I talked to you about the media room?
No.
Okay,
not
so there is it's like almost like a studio, in the, main classroom building.
Oh.
You can get access to it through the humanities department. There are video cameras, pretty good microphones, editing software available. So that's something to keep in mind as we do features and whatnot.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, thank you.
Great. Any other questions, comments, concerns for Senator Chapin? Seeing none, we'll move on to our government relations report.
As I said, document shares approved. It's that Wednesday, the 18th of the Rocket Days week or whatever. So we're hoping to catch the traffic for homecoming with that. I sent out a form to the monument. I need to know how many people are coming, so I need you to fill that form out no matter what by the end of today, because if I need to find more people from other organizations to fill in and help support us, I need to know today. So please fill out that form. I will also send it to the Snapchat, so it should be in your emails. That is our biggest possible fundraiser. That is the most money for the littlest amount of time. So please, if you can make even part of that. I sent out a what is good for the Government Relations Committee meeting, which didn't really work out with a bunch of conflicts, so we meet right after this to try and hammer out the committee date. I believe that's all I have. Questions?
Comments, concerns? Seeing none, we'll move on to our student affairs report.
Hello all. Our meeting will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. and I spent a little bit of time today just building a new survey. A lot of it looks pretty similar to what we had last year, but with some additional questions. So we will be reviewing that survey, seeing if there's anything else that has to be changed. We will discuss the frequency of Spirit Fridays, decide on activities for that, and discuss frequency of open forums. Any questions?
Moving on, campus ad hoc committees, we're still working on getting those formed. We'll probably reach out to a couple of y'all to ask to have those up, but didn't appear right now they're still being formed. So move on from there. Upcoming Senate business. I think we've gone over it already in this meeting. Just Paint Town Parade, and then the two fundraisers we have, Cancheras and Monument. I think those are the four biggest ones. And then obviously next week's meeting at 5 p.m. like we do every week. Yeah, other than that, that's all the upcoming Senate business. Any comments, concerns, questions about that?
I got an announcement. There is now a coffee pot in the Senate office. If you wish to use it, feel free. I'll be stocking up on coffee. Well, checking if it needs stocked up every 2 weeks or so. If you would like different coffee than the cheapest Walmart can provide, feel free to send me some money, because I will not be buying anything more expensive.
Speaking of announcements, any other announcements? Senator Winter.
Christmas, only 112 days away. Lock in.
Just real quick, so at 7, for seniors and freshmen, since we didn't get to teach the Frosh the Beanie song last week, we are doing that at 7 p.m. in the ballroom. And then after that, Swing Club's going to do an event. So if your mentors, text your mentees and tell them where their beanies and show up, but it shouldn't take probably more than a half hour.
Where's that?
In the back door.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Alrighty, any other announcements? Any motions? Seconded. Do a motion by Senator Fernandez, second by Senator Lindgren. All those in favor of adjournment say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. You're adjourned.